Hi, my name is Kajsa. I'm a passionate voice actor dedicated to spreading knowledge about the dubbing industry around the world. To master this art form, you need to study hard and constantly strive to improve yourself. In today's episode, Alessandro Parise, a veteran of the Italian acting industry, will talk more about how to enhance your acting skills, both in dubbing and on stage. He will also share insights about his dubbing school, A&F Dubbing, where Italian speakers can receive professional training to develop their inner dubbing talent. You're listening to Episode 2, Season 2 of Voices and Visions Behind the Scenes. Hello Alessandro, and welcome to Voices and Visions Behind the Scenes.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm just working a lot during this period with my school and with my dubbing.
That's so nice to hear.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good job.
Yeah, it is, but sometimes we're busy.
Yeah, I'm very busy because the school in particular way is an hard work because you have to work with children and guys in different ages. So it's not easy because you have to work not only with the technique but with the head.
Yeah.
Too. It's very important because each one has a different need in the construction of the work, of the artistic work, because dubbing is an artistic work. It's not only a technique work.
Exactly. Could you please introduce yourself for the audience?
Yeah, sure. I'm Alessandro Parise. I'm an actor, a voice actor, a dubber, I prefer. And I played almost 20 years in theater. And I spent my time in Italy in different theaters, very, very important theaters, and abroad too. I've been in Greece, where I played a comedy of art. I don't know if you know, but it's very, very important in Italy because it's a kind of tradition with the masks. I don't know if you know Pulcinella, Arlecchino.
I don't think so. It's very Italian, though, I think.
It's very important for the use of the body and the use of the voice too, because you modify your voice because you have a mask on your face, so you have to change your voice and use a deep voice, and so it's very important for the drama too. When you switch on drama, it's a different way of play theater. But I spend my time in television too sometimes, and in commercials too, and I continue to play in theater, cinema, television, even if my principal activity is dubbing now, because I started from theater, but it's a different way of play. I know that you can understand easily, even if it's always acting, but it's a different issue for your voice. So you have to change in relationship with the microphone and relationship in the screen between two actors inside the scene. It was in 2002 when I was just arrived in Rome, and I was attended this private academy, and I spent my time in a place called Villini. It's not far from my academy. It's a very important society that now it doesn't exist. It's closed, but where I've seen a lot of very important film and TV series. And Sandro Acerbo is a well-known director that gave me this occasion to attend during this period. Now he is is known especially for the voice of Brad Pitt in Italy, and is a very good director. And the first time I was with him in dubbing, and step by step I started to dub. You start always with a small line, and then you grow up in the time, and you have the occasion by a director, and he gives you a new possibility and a character, and then main character. But this arrives in different years in the time. It's not so easy. It's not so easy because it's a technique. Very I don't know how to translate in English, but it's you have to be clean, very clean in dubbing. It's not like cinema, and even in theater. Even if in theater you use your diaphragm, you say diaphragm?
Yeah, diaphragm. Yep.
Yeah. Even in dubbing, you use your diaphragm, but the issue is completely different. You don't need the power of theater, because you don't have to arrive to the last chair in theater. So this is the most important thing to learn, and you have to be fluid like water in dubbing. It's completely different from theater, because in theater you have to say each word with an intensity, a different intensity. But now it's quite impossible to follow a tournament in dubbing, because there are I think that is called turnstiles. When you arrive in a society, you have to you need a permission from the director or the society, because there were a lot of controls in the time, and sometimes persons use phones to take some part of the film with the phone, and this is not permitted. So you asked me that where I studied. I studied in this private academy in Rome for 3 years, and during this period I had a lot of experiences in theater, because there was a production behind this academy, and they gave us an opportunity each time to go on live, on stage. And I studied comedy of art, as I said, poetry, orthoepia. I don't know if you know, it's the study of the accent, rhythm, sound, sing, and diction, all the things that you study inside an academy. And this happened for 3 years. And in the last year, I started with my tournée in Italy. And first with this company, and then with other companies and other actors, famous actors in Italy. And I played in musical too one time. Very important musical, the musical of Broadway, Mary Poppins. I spent 3 years in Milan, and then in Rome for 6 months, and I was Mr. Banks for 3 years. Yeah, with my mustache. I cut this, and I have only mustache. Yeah, and was an incredible experience, because in that time I knew Cameron Mackintosh, the producer of Lion King, the Mary Poppins, and all the most important musical in the world. And he chose me for this role. And me, Mary Poppins, Bert, and Mrs. Banks. These 4 roles.
Very big roles.
great. And I worked with him for one day. He came from London to see only me, not Mary, not Bert, not Mrs. Banks. And I spent one day in this room with him to study the character of Mr. Banks, because it was very important for him. And he said, you are the line of the story. So I want to explain your objective on the stage. And it was great. He finished to play Les Miserables in cinema with Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe. It was incredible to stay with him for one day.
Yeah, for one.
Yeah. And he has the power to stop a show if he doesn't like the show, even when the show starts. In Germany, it happened because he didn't like Mrs. Banks, and he said, no, we have to stop the show, we have to search one more person, and we start again.
That's very interesting.
So you can imagine for that girl, I didn't know her, but I think that was terrible.
Oh yeah.
What I say, there is no difference, because you have to act and you have to follow the person on the screen. So if you have a good actor on the other side, it's easy. You have to follow him and that's it. On the contrary, if you have a bad actor, because it happens, you need to be a good actor on the other side.
Yeah. And
because you have a conventional language in dubbing. It's not like in cinema, in theater. You have to use a particular kind of sound on the microphone. If you don't use this kind of sound, you risk to go out, and you say that your voice is not on the character. We say scollare. It's a term that I can translate, but you use this term to say that your voice is not good on that character. But if you are a good actor, generally you're right. There is a distribution on different characters, and it's the director that chooses. He knows all the voices of the actors, so it's easier for him. Sometimes he has to choose 50 actors in a film, and he has to remember all the dubbers to have a good job. When you are in room, it's important the work of sound engineer, assistant, director, and actor at the same time. If you have all these persons that work in the same direction, the job is well done. Sometimes it happens, sometimes not, according to my opinion. But it depends. It's a personal work. All the characters are important. All the characters. There is no one in particular. It's normal that you have a different emotion in relationship with a different character. But I played one time, I don't know if you know the TV series Winx, the Saga.
Yeah, I know that. You played what is his
Saul
name?
Silva.
Yeah, Saul Silva.
Saul Silva is Robert James Collier that played Downton Abbey. Is a good actor. Is an English actor. I think that all English actors are wonderful. It's difficult to find an English actor that is not a good actor, because there is a good tradition, and they have serious academies in England. So you have a good target by an English actor. So it's this kind of operation was interesting, but the TV series started well but finished not well. So it was a pity. Now for me, my actor is Milchik in Severance. Severance is a TV series on Apple TV.
Okay.
They won in United States 5 Grammy Awards, and now I have to play the second. I don't know how to say season. Yeah. The name is Samuel Tillman. He is a very good actor, and he will play in the new Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise.
Fun.
So now he is in United States. It's like is a black actor with a mustache like me. And it's interesting because it's not a kind of playing classic. It's a different way of play because his position inside the TV series is a little bit different. I don't know if you know the Severance.
I haven't watched it, so.
It's a TV series by Ben Stiller, and he is the director. And there are some persons that choose to divide their brain in 2 parts, and 1 part for the work and 1 part for the life. So when they enter at work, they don't remember all the life outside, and the same thing on the contrary. When they are on the job, they don't remember life outside. Yeah. So it's very interesting, but we don't know all the series. I don't know if what will happen in the next season. I will discover this.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a good idea to watch it. And Jarin is one more character. The name is Ken Leung. I don't know. He played in Old by Chaplin. Is a film. In Italy was on Sky, and in cinema too. First in cinema and then on Sky. And it was in Lost, the TV series. Lost in 2002, I think. You know Lost?
I wasn't born that time, but
you are too young.
Yeah, I wasn't born then.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember at all because you asked me my first dubbing role. I don't remember. But generally, I think the first dubbing role, I remember a character that is called Jobson in The Terror on Amazon Prime. And was a TV series by Ridley Scott. But I don't remember. I don't remember if really is the first character that I played. Maybe not. I watched a lot of cartoons. Yes. Yeah. But my cartoons were a little bit different from this kind of cartoons. I don't know if you know Ollie e Benji.
I don't think so. I was too young, probably.
Capitan Tsubasa, now they call, because they change the title in Italy.
Well, yeah, they do.
Because the original one is a Japanese cartoon. And Georgie is a drama. It was beautiful. On this girl that is the son of a deportee, Australian deportee, and she lived was adopted by an Australian family. But there are a lot of problems. You cry all the time, but I like it. And Kenshiro, you know, Okuto no Ken. You know it? No.
I don't know actually any of these.
Yeah, it's art. You know, I've seen Hazbin Hootel.
Oh, you've seen that at least.
Yeah, the director in Italy is a very good friend of mine, Oreste Baldini.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great actor and a great director. I played with him in theater too.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's a great actor. He's the voice of John Cusack, but he works a lot as a director in a society that's called Pumise.
Oh yeah, that's dubbing studio.
It's like is the society of where I've seen that you met Rossa Caputo. I've never seen Hazbin Hootel. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Because it's not my a kind of product that I follow generally, but I know that it's very important now. Even in Italy, it was an explosion of success because there is music and they sing the language that they use inside is not a polite language. This is interesting, but I will see it. I don't like to see something in the beginning. I prefer to see in the end. I wait for a period and then I see the product. Back to the Future in Italian is a very good dubbing. I like Michael J. Fox is in Italian was the first time was Teobelia was great, and then Sandra Cervo too in the second part of Back to the Future. Carpe Diem, the Dead Poets Society, it's beautiful. I like Robin Williams as an actor, but I like Carlo Valli too as dubber. When you meet the perfect voice for an actor, and Carlo Valli was perfect because Robin is not here now, but it was great. I like this kind of film because they speak about a lot of when you speak about Carpe Diem, it's interesting because I think that this is the most important thing in life when you decide to be an actor. You have to choose the right time to be an actor, and you have to find the right persons to be a good actor.
Exactly.
It's not only your choice, but you have to find someone that believes in you. And so this is the reason for what I like this kind of film. And Ghostbusters too, because Oreste Rizzini was great. It's one of the actors. Sergio Di Giulio, Mario Cordova, Massimo Foschi. There is a sound, an orchestra inside this film. Each one has a different voice. Each one is perfect on this kind of character, and this is the old dubbing. Because now sometimes when you hear a film, we have a lot of great dubbers, but sometimes you find similar voices, and when you put yourself behind the television, sometimes you ask to yourself, which one is this, which one is that. It's not easy to find the difference. In the past, it was completely different. Anything by Tonino Colla, any film dubbed. Tonino Colla was Eddie Murphy, was Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura, Gary Oldman in Leon, Ben Stiller in There's Something About Mary, Homer Simpson, obviously. One of the best creative actor that I met in my life. My singer, the singer that I prefer is Michael Jackson. I grew up with him. I spent a lot of hours to learn his video, his steps. I dance like Michael Jackson.
Oh.
I like it. But generally in theater, in television, I like deep voices. I prefer deep voices. Because you can go
Very deep.
down. Yeah. And when you have to find a different kind of emotion, it's more interesting, a deep voice, according to my opinion, not for people. But for Michael Jackson was different. Michael Jackson was incredible because he had a perfect ear. I think that we couldn't have a better performer than this. He was inspired by Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, I heard about his name. Oh, balloons.
Charlie Chaplin was the actor. He spent his life to work on one character, but in this character there were all the characters. And for me, this is the way of acting, observing life. He observed life and different character in the street, and he tried to put each time something on his vagabondo. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. A&F was born in 2023.
It's pretty young.
1 year ago. Yeah, but I came from 5 years in teaching in another school. Ooh. And I thought that I didn't like at all the method of this school, and I decided in the 25th of August in 2023 to create my school with my group, because I think that it's important to create a good relationship between a teacher and another teacher. We have to be all together. Yeah. And Massimo is one of my best friends. We started together from Bari in south of Italy. At the same time, we attended the same academy for 3 years. We spent a lot of time on stage in different shows, and then we started in dubbing at the same time. Maybe Massimo 2 years earlier than me, but is one of my best friends. Perla is my girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. Since 8 years. And so we live always all together, and we are very close for this. Marco Altini is a diction teacher. You say diction? You understand diction?
When you like the language itself, you know.
Yeah. When you have to study the technique, and the autoepi is the accent of the words and the rhythm, the sound, all this. He is teacher on this kind of things. Lorenzo Accolla is one of the other teacher. He came in our school this year, on the second year, and we work all together all the time. We choose to have only these teachers because you have to know well all the students. So if you spend your year with all the children, all the guys, you arrive to know them very well. So as in the start I said, it's not important only the technique and the way of playing, but the head. At the same time, when you meet a guy or a child that has a problem in his mind, you have to work on this, to change, to modify something in him, to go on, because they are blocked sometimes. It's not only to find the right way to say something on the screen, but you have to understand what you are doing. So you have to understand what you are reading, because I remember that when you dub, you don't find by heart your lines. You read all the time.
Yeah.
You go down and up with your eyes. So it's different from theater and different from cinema, because you have in cinema and theater you have 6 months to work on the lines and to go on. In dubbing you have no time, because you look 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then you have to dub. This is the most important thing to remember, that this is the difficulty of dubbing. When the actor in the original works for 6 months, you stay in the room for 3 hours maximum, and this is hard. This is the reason for why, for me, it's important to have a good technique. Without this, you can't stay inside the dubbing room. We have Andrea Lavagnino too this year, and each year from January to May we have different persons, different directors that come to A&F Dubbing for 3 or 6 hours, and they spend the time with our guys to know them and to give them opportunities for working too, not only to study with them. And it's interesting for them because they find a different point of view about this kind of work, because not all the heads are similar. Each one has a different rule inside the system. So you find a professional that loves something, and another professional that loves other things, and you have to switch all the time according to the necessities of this kind of work. This is the reason for why it is an artistic work, because it's a personal work. There are anyway general rules for all the persons, but each one change with his taste. I teach dubbing and cinema inside my academy. So it's a different way of teaching, because when you teach cinema, you have a camera, so you have to control all the things: eyes, expressions, the body, the use of body. Sometimes they choose to study cinema because they want to dub better, because sometimes you forget your body, and even if when you are beside the screen, you can't move with rumors on. You can do this in the place because there is a microphone, but you have any way to move to create the same reactions that you meet in the film, in the series, in the cartoon. One time, Ilaria Latini, during one lesson, there is a video on our Instagram. She explained the difference between a line, said, well, perfect, but without moving, and the same line moving entirely the body, and follow the movement of the character in the screen, and you can hear the difference, the big difference. This is for the reason for why we try to learn this without the screen, because you have to concentrate on the body, on your way of playing. But I say at the same time that cinema in Italy is completely different from dubbing, because in Italy we use a lot of dialects, and generally in Rome in particular way, we use a lot of Roman accent inside the films. So when you speak here, for some directors in cinema, it's not good. You have to use your accent. Sometimes I use my dialect. I'm not Roman. I'm from Puglia. I'm from Bari. It's a completely different dialect. If I speak with Barese, it's another way of playing. It's funny. And in comedy, we use a lot of dialects. So they think that it's more natural to speak with dialects. It's true, because you have to find your origin with dialect. You find your origin, so it's easier to play with dialect. But when you play in Italian, it's much more difficult, according to my opinion. And when you play with your costume in 1800, you can't play with the Roman accent. You have to play in a perfect Italian. And sometimes Italian actors that work in cinema, they are not able to speak perfect Italian. So this is a problem. Sometimes it's interesting. So when you study dubbing and cinema at the same time, you have to change. You have to learn to change quickly according to the situation that you have to play. Is acting anyway. To have a good actor, you have to behave in the right way during your life. The behavior during the job is very important. When you work inside a society, even if in cinema, in theater, if you not have the right behavior, you risk to lose your job. Sometimes it's hard, because some persons that are harder than others. You need a self-control. This is very important, because if you lose your control during your job, you are finished, because you don't listen anymore to the indications of the director in cinema, theater, and dubbing. You have to be sure of yourself. Sometimes the young persons especially in this period of in this kind of society, sometimes you are not sure of your future. So it's difficult to find your center, and you have to give this to your students, to stay always with your head held high. Sometimes you go down, sometimes you go up, and after you go down again, and this changement can lose your mind. Not lip syncing. It's easy for a child, for a young guy. It's the easiest thing, I think. You learn the lip sync On the contrary, you have to find the way of playing, the right way of playing. And you have to understand what you read. Sometimes they find the perfect sound in the line, but they don't think sometimes. And this is hard to explain, because you are an actor from the birth. You have to discover your way of acting, but you are, from the beginning, you are an actor. I can't teach you to be an actress. I can help you to find the way of acting, but you are an actress. If you understand the way, be true in your way of acting, you win. It's quite impossible to be 100% true in acting. Step by step, you search the real intention in the acting. It depends by situation, it depends by film, it depends by persons, colleagues. Sometimes you find the right person to play, and sometimes not. The good reaction to the line, it's important, especially when you play at the same time. In dubbing now it's changed, because after pandemic you play alone in your room. You have no possibility to stay at the same time, so you record your lines, and then there is one more person that enter in the room, and then it starts his song.
So you used to record together in Italian dubbing industry?
In first it was like this. When you have two characters at the same time, sometimes it happens, even now, but it's difficult.
Oh.
They prefer to separate each one. So if you have 150 lines to record, you stay alone in the room, and then in the next tournament you find one more person, and they record their lines. It's harder for the society because you spend much more time to finish. But this is the reason for why they can't spend too much hours in a product.
I understand. It's a bit stressful in the dubbing industry.
Yeah. And you have to run from a society to another society in the same day. You have 3-4 tournaments in the day, from 9 to 12, or 9, half past 9, half past 12, and half past 4, and then half past 4 to half past 7. And the extraordinary work is half past 7, half past 10.
You don't usually get preparation when you do dubbing, I've heard, but...
No. Exactly. There is no preparation. Exactly. There is no preparation. You enter in the room and you meet the director. He explains the product in 5 minutes, and then you start to watch. We call it in Italian ring, anello, because they cut the film in different rings in the past. When there is the film, they repeat the scene for different times, so this is the reason for why they call it ring.
Because like a loop recording.
Yeah, exactly. You divide the entire script
yeah.
in different lines, and you proceed like this, step by step. There is a time code on the screen, and you start in a time code, and you finish another time code. So you have 10-15 lines at the same time. sometimes if the scene is wide to the other one, you can choose to what to ring at the same time, because it's better for your way of playing. Because if you stop, it's not good. It's like a creative process. You have to go on and to finish the scene. When you change the situation and you pass in another scene, okay, you stop and you start again to watch the scene and then to record the other scene.
But do you loop record the songs as well, like song parts?
For the song, you can choose to sing the song, to hear and to record all the song, or to record line by line. Yeah, it depends by society. In a society, SDI is the name. Yuno now is a Korean. There is a person that prefers to record the entire song, so you sing. In other societies, they choose to sometimes to do this line by line, and they have a lot of programs to change notes, even if the note is not perfect when you sing. Sometimes it happens. Not all the dubbers are singers, and not all the singers that dub songs are perfect in execution. But it's better a dubber that sings than a pure singer, because the pure singer doesn't know the rules of the dubbing. And this is the reason for why, if you have the opportunity to be the voice in speaking and the voice in singing at the same time, it's better for the society too, because there is a good match.
Because sometimes you gotta replace the voice actor who can't sing with a singer.
Yeah. But sometimes it happens the contrary. There are a lot of dubbers that doesn't sing at all.
Exactly.
And they have to choose a similar voice, and sometimes the singer has to stay in the room with the dubber to learn the way of speaking and the way of the issue of the voice in the same way of the dubber, because you have to be similar. It's like when you leave a line in original language and then you speak Italian. Sometimes it happens when you speak Spanish and then Italian, and in the original film is Spanish and English, and you have to translate only the English part. When they speak in Spanish, you have to find in Italian a similar voice, because you have a good match for this. So they try. They choose 3-5 voices in among dubbers, and they choose the best one for the client. In this case, is the client that choose, not the director. The director find 5 voices, and then the client decide to between among these voices. I don't choose voices because I'm not a director, but I choose voices for my students. Sometimes when they call me because they need a guy or a child, and if it's possible, I ask a sample to hear the voice, the original voice, and to find a similar voice in Italian. But it's not true that all the time the voice is similar. Sometimes when you speak about Sandro Acerbo, for example, he dubbed a lot of times, most of the times, Will Smith, And in the original language, Will Smith is a very deep voice, and Sandro is not so deep. But if you hear the dubbing of Sandro on Will Smith, is anyway perfect, because it looks his eyes, and when you dub, you have to look this part of the actor, not this part, not lips but eyes, to find the right way. You say that you play with your eyes in cinema, and that's right, that's good. Michael Caine says that when you blink all the time like this in cinema is not good, and there is a technique that you have to look from this eye to the opposite eye of the character that is in front of you. So if you fix this point, your eyes don't blink. On the contrary, if you change, you start to do this, and cinema is not good. This is the American English style. They work all the time on the mask. This part is fixed. Have you ever seen this in a film?
I don't think
For
so.
example, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is always like this. When he take a scene and he records a scene, then he goes behind the camera and he watch again the scene to be sure that his eyes are perfect, or the smile. It started different kind of smiles in different films. This is perfection for me.
Yeah. When
you find for each situation, each scene, different smile. But in Italy, it's not like this way of playing in cinema. Maybe Pierfrancesco Favino is one of the best that plays in this way, because he played abroad different times. With Brad Pitt too, in World War Z, for example. The dubbing industry in Italy is very important. There are a lot of societies, and each society has its rules, because societies are made by persons, and each person has a different mind to this. And I didn't know at all that Winx Club and Hazbin Hootel were so known abroad for the Italian dubbing. I didn't know this. This is interesting. Why? When it happened?
So Hazbin Hootel, obviously, it exploded as soon as it got released. And Rosa Caputo and Ricardo Suarez, they are very public people, so they promoted a lot. And the series itself...
But where? Did this start from social network or?
Yeah, so the show was already very, very popular in America. Hazbin Hootel. And since men knew about it, they got excited that they had a really good dub in Italy, because sometimes the international dubs are not as good, but they happen to have a lot of passion behind the work they did, for the translation, for the songs, and the acting itself. So many liked it. And for Winx Club, many connects, of course, Winx Club to their childhood, nostalgia. But also that I think that people got inspired to watch in the original, because it was a bit different, since it's an Italian original show. So I think that's why.
Anyway, Rosa Caputo and Ricardo sing very well. Mm-hmm. This is important. There is Alex Polidori too inside. He is a good singer, a very good singer. Even there are a lot of wonderful singers among dubbers in Italy.
Do you know Elisa Rosselli?
Elisa?
Elisa Rosselli. She's a very known singer from Italy who makes
Rosselli.
Rosselli. Yeah, I can't pronounce in Italian.
Rosselli. Yeah. It's good pronounce.
Yeah. So she's very.
It's quite perfect. Quite perfect.
She's very known for her music because she worked at Winx Club. You know.
Okay.
From season 3.
No, I didn't know.
I think
she's a pure singer.
Yeah.
I think.
And since she's well known among the Winx fans, people got invested into the Italian dubbing as well, probably because of that.
But this is important for the future of dubbing. I think that. But I have to ask you, how is your dubbing in
Sweden?
In your country, Sweden, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, but we don't dub most shows. We only dub shows up to 13 years old. So the quality could either be a hit or miss. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
This is the reason for why you speak very well English.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the reason for why Italian people are not good in languages.
Yeah, that's the cons of not watching in the original language, I would say. But I always like watching in dubbed languages as well. Even though I don't understand Italian, you know, I just love how it sounds.
The sound.
Yeah, the sound.
Yeah.
It's also poetic.
Italian language is very romantic.
Yeah.
I remember very well when I was in France. Les Italiens, les machos. They said all the time, les Italiens, les machos. It's funny. I like English so much, even if I don't speak at all. My English is not good. I would like to speak better. Even if now for cinema, it's important to learn languages, but it's you can learn lines and you can play anyway. I have a very good friend of mine that played in Ripley. In the beginning, he didn't speak at all English and learned, and now he play abroad. He's playing in Prague now.
Oh.
Yeah, and Ripley. Have you seen Ripley? It's a very, very good with Andrew Scott, the actor that played in Sherlock, the series, the TV series with. Sherlock is with Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. You remember Doctor Strange?
I've heard about the series, but I never watched those kind of series, to be honest.
Okay. Sherlock Holmes. You know Sherlock Holmes. The detective Sherlock Holmes. The clever detective Sherlock Holmes. He is Cumberbatch in this TV series, and there is Andrew Scott on the other side. There is the bad guy of this film, of this series, and is very famous in the United States and England now. And my best friend Maurizio played with him in this TV series Ripley. Is an important TV series, even in Italy. The Talent of Mr. Ripley is the original film with Matt Damon. What does a typical dubbing project look like from start to finish? Yeah, I explained to you. You start with the explaining of the director, then you control the microphone with the sound engineer and staying in your place when you record, and then you start watching the scene 1, 2, 3 times if it necessary, especially with a film. If you are not sure of all the lines, you have to look again. But you have not so much time. 2 times for a TV series is already too much.
Yeah.
and then you try to record, and if there is something that is not good for the director, for the sound engineer, and for the assistant that controls the lines, if you start this is the original line. When you start always after a little bit, because you have to hear in the headphones, and then you start to record. So this gap you have to finish after the original lines, because there is a gap in the beginning and in the end. And when the sound engineer move the line, they arrive to be at the same level. So you hear in the headphones, and then you start, and you lose the first time of the record. So you have to finish always after the original line.
That's
if you finish at the same time or first of the original, it's short, and so you have to start again. And you have to record one more time the line. This is the technique rule for recording. And then you have the director that control your quality of playing. So if he's not agree with your way of playing, you have to start again. Even if you have a big monologue, and according to the director, the monologue, you have to, for your way of thinking, you have to start from the beginning, because you can't stop in the middle. You start always from the beginning, because it's important that your way of thinking is one from the start to the end.
Some people think that voice acting isn't about acting. It's just making a fun voice, for an example.
It's not. Yeah, this is the problem for what there is the perfect sound and the way of playing. It's a different. When I hear a fun dubber, I can hear the difference. Sometimes common persons don't understand the difference, but when you hear a film or a TV series or a cartoon, and you don't think to the dubbing, but you think to the film, it means that the dubbing is a good dubbing. If you start to say this one, no, okay, it means that the dubber is not a good dubber. So it happens. The old school of dubbing say always, no, the dubbing is finished. The dubbing, they are always dramatic. They say, no, it's not like in the past. I think that is the society is changed. The way of speaking is changed. We are quicker. We speak in a different way because the society is quicker. So my first master of acting said, why you run? Why? Slow. But it's normal, because the society now is, you go there, all the time. When you are old, you stay, you stop, you look at the tree, you look at the persons. Now, all the persons are like this.
Yeah, on the phones.
On the phones, they don't speak at all. And this is a great problem, because we use the screen, but we are speaking, we are talking. But generally, young guys write, and this is a filter, and this creates a barrier for your behavior in life. So you are shy, you don't find the right words to explain, to be sure of yourself, insecure. You start to cry for any problem, and this is not good. You have to try. I think that you have to try. If you fall down, you start again. You
Rise up. Yeah.
This is important. And I lived in the middle of two generations, and I think I'm lucky for this. I had good parents and a good way of teaching, and this is good for me. But not all the persons are so lucky. It depends. If you speak with Lorenzo, my friend, he says no. For me, it was harder because my father was hard, and sometimes I think yes. Sometimes it happens that you find the right way because you have a good family that protects you and gives you the right opportunities. But in dubbing, I think that if you are not a good dubber, you can't work anyway. So it's a meritocratic system. You say it like this, meritocratico. Well, but it means that if you are good in acting, you can stay in the world of dubbing. If you are not good, you can't stay. Or you stay, but for smaller
projects.
roles.
Yeah, so.
Even if, according to my opinion, it doesn't exist a small part. All the parts are fundamental for a film, for a show, for the cinema. Even if you have to say this is important. Predisposition for acting, you are already at a good point for me. Anyway, you have to study technique all the time. You have to study each day, every day for 6, 7, 8 hours when you are in academy. Sometimes young people exit from the academy and they don't study. They stop. When you go away from the academy, you have to start your work, because in academy you study a little part that is the part of the iceberg that is outside of the sea, but you have to build
deeper levels.
The deeper levels, yeah. It's very important. So you have to study all the time. Even if you are on the stage, you are 47 like me, you have to continue to study. You have to find each day something different. Even if you play on stage in the same play, you can find each day something different. Each line that you play can change, can grow, and you can transform the show. When I started Mary Poppins, the first time, it was completely different from the last show after 3 years. And this is beautiful. This is the best part of the show. The live show is beautiful for this. In dubbing, you have to record, and you can hear 20 years later your voice, and you say, I could be better than this. But now it's already done.
It's in the past.
Yeah. To be resilient, like all the persons that think anything could happen if you let it. This is the most important phrase of Mary Poppins. Everything could happen if you let it. So if you believe in yourself, in your capacities, in your future, you can obtain great results. If you lose your mind, your concentration, and your self-control, it's finished. You stop. So you have to work harder and harder and harder to obtain something different. Even if you lose the first time, second time could be better.